New Star Wars, new cool characters, new favorite lines. Let's talk about it on Hoth Topic, presented by the Sarlacc Digest podcast right now. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Hoth Topic. I'm your host, Chris, presented by the Sarlacc Digest podcast, coming at you live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on YouTube. All right, don't miss out. So today I want to talk to you about Andor, the new show, right? But we're going to keep it quick. We're going to talk about some new characters that we got. Actually, just really one. Okay, just my favorite one. It's not Andor. He's a cool character, and I'm really getting to dig him. Right? I'm not talking about Bix. She's all right. Tim's kind of a douche at this point, right? And he's dead, so I'm not really going to talk about him. Cyril's kind of a puss. Not really concerned about him right now. My man Brasso, though, okay, he's the homie, so we're cool with him. But we're not going to talk about him. What we're going to talk about is big boy Linus Mosk. That guy is the real hero of this show right now, right? At first, I saw him, and I think you heard me say this on the show, right? This is a big man right here. Okay, we don't get a lot of big guys, plus size heroes or villains in the galaxy, unless you're a Hutt or some kind of alien, what have you. Okay, but to get a big man in costume gives us all a little bit of hope. We can cosplay a little easier like that, right? So we got old man Boba Fett now, and now we got Linus Mosk. All right. But beyond that, beyond him filling out that Star Tours gear, he's also just a cool character, right? I'm digging it. This man is Imperial as can be. And you guys know from watching this show or the Sarlacc Digest, that I'm big into the Imperials. Most of us are, right? So when you get a guy with a strong accent and a better than you attitude and really passionate about order and taking care of business, that's right up my alley. So getting this guy in here and watching him, go through the motions of not quite being an Imperial, but a wannabe Imperial in the beginning of it. Pretty excited about this dude. The more we talk about him as a group, the more excited I get. And we'll get to that in a minute, right? But from jump, right, he's dealing with Cyril, who Cyril is the other Star Tours guide on this team here, the security fleet or whatever they're called. I forget what they're called. Don't even care, to be honest. But the Empire's first line of defense. Okay, the corporate sector security, something like that. Anyway, the Empire's first line of defense. So Cyril is a complete wuss, right? Like he seems like he's completely lost, not a leader. He's totally a follower right now. I'm sure that's all going to change. He has passion. He knows the rule book type of thing, but he's not that guy, right? So you're dealing with him first, and then we run into him meeting Linus Mosk, Sergeant Mosk. And you realize right off the bat, they're getting along because Cyril not wanting to let Andor get away with killing two of his men, and Linus is seeing the same exact thing, and they're kind of talking the same language, but Linus is just more militant about it, right? He's very much, this can't happen on our watch. This can't happen. We can't let this stand. Very passionate, very well spoken, kind of just drives it home on everything, right? Really well played. Dug that. Later on, when he's given the speech to the troops, to his men, you can see that even though Cyril is in charge, those are Linus's men, right? They're going to go ahead and what was it in Cobra Kai when Silver said, "There's a difference between listening to you and being heard," type of thing. Like they heard you, they didn't listen. Well, that's kind of what's going on here, right? Where they're listening to Linus. They can hear Cyril, but they're listening to Linus. You can see it throughout the show now when they get into a little battle later. It's not Cyril that's leading the charge. It's Sergeant Mosk. He's all over everything. So he gives this rousing speech, gets the guys up, and then Cyril pops in and kind of brings the mood down. But what's he do? He knows the pecking order, right? Because he's an Imperial. So he knows that he's below this guy. So what's he do? He doesn't tell him that was shit. He starts a slow clap for him, right? Gets the troops to go ahead and back up the boss, and then gives him a little hand on his shoulder and says, "Inspiring." Right? Not at all. But he knows the pecking order, and he knows his spot on the totem pole. So that was cool too. And that's how Imperials are, right? Imperials know where they land and who they report to and what it is, right? Chain of command is everything in the Empire, and this guy's going to be it. I'm telling you, if we don't get in the 2 seasons here, this guy better not die. right? I want him to go through all these, the 5 years, and I want to watch him promote and get moved into the Empire. And I want to see him in his olive green or his gray or what have you and get promoted up. Then I would love to see his ass move into the Mandoverse when we start getting into that and see him on a Star Destroyer somewhere on an ISD running shit and causing problems with the Republic. I would love that because this character got me within these 3 episodes. I'm ready for it. Okay. So I've talked about, we got a new Andor, right? We got a new cool character and some of the best lines, right? One of the best things I loved was the talking about keeping a knife sharp, right? He's all, the best way to keep your knife sharp is to keep using it, right? Love that, talking about, practicing and getting out there in the field and boots on the ground and stuff. But that really isn't the best line ever. The best line now in Star Wars, better than I am your father, better than may the force be with you, is now. That's right. We dropped the shit in Star Wars, and I am here for it. Let me tell you, I've seen a lot of stir on the internet that we don't need it. I've seen stir in our group that is not really necessary. That's not how they speak. Oh, yes, everybody speaks like this. And I'll tell you right now, if you ever get in a group chat with me, and the guys know because we're in a group chat, any response now is this. That is the response to every single thing, good or bad. It will be Sergeant Mosk. All right. But let me tell you why it's okay to have shit said in Star Wars. All right. Number one, we're watching a fictional movie in a galaxy far, far away. All right. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, they weren't speaking English, right? They're speaking basic. What we're hearing is a translation of basic to English so we understand it, so we're not just hearing alien talk all day, right? Shit to them is whatever, right? It's just a harder version of Poodoo. That's all it is. But whatever they say in their version, we're hearing it, all right? They don't know any of the words we say. Shit is as different as hello there. Shit is as different as duck. Shit is as different as the word droid and anything, right? Words are made up anyway. It's just being translated for us. It doesn't matter what he said. Shit absolutely fits, and shit absolutely fit right there in that scenario. And it definitely fits in this picture so that I can use it all the damn time now. My favorite new line in Star Wars, one that can be easily memorized and used over and over again. And anytime anybody says, hey, Chris, can you just stop quoting Star Wars? Shit. All right. So that's it. Just want to give you my 2 cents on Linus Mosk and the new greatest line in all of Star Wars. Catch me later. We're going to do another. I'm going to let you behind the curtain here. This was a quick change. I've done an Ezra episode about where he's going in the Mandoverse twice, and my audio didn't catch twice. So that's going to get done tomorrow. I walked away and decided to do a Linus Mosk video instead. So here we go. So stay tuned for that one. But in the meantime, go ahead and catch the Sarlacc Digest podcast each Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on YouTube. Jump in the chat. We call the pit. Say hi. Be part of the conversation. And remember, like and subscribe. Okay, guys? Until then, take care and may the force be with you.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.